BuzzFeed put together a list of interior design decisions people make that really rub others the wrong way. And the point of bringing this up is to say that others should eat a bag of D's because it's your home. You should do what makes you happy and stop being so stressed out about the resale value of your home. I get it. A lot of people see it as an investment. I like to think of my dwelling as my refuge, something that I have put a lot of my resources into for myself, not for other people, okay? So with that in mind, I was a little offended by this list because it mentioned some of the design decisions I have made. And I think these people are wrong, John. I think these people are wrong. So why don't we start off with the first example? Let's take a look.
Okay.
All right, so there you have a beautiful sink. It is a large farmhouse sink. Mm-hmm. Farmhouse sinks are the worst, says one person who wrote into BuzzFeed. With their flat bottoms, water doesn't
flat bottoms.
True. Water doesn't drain properly, and it takes 10 gallons of water just to clean it. So
just like the other flat bottoms.
Yeah, Blue Dog Interiors apparently doesn't know how to install these sinks appropriately because I have a farmhouse sink and it is the best thing that I have ever decided to do to our place. Like it's gigantic because it's huge. Like I don't like water splashing all over the countertops. Like I want a nice big sink. I don't want that little center divider. I just want one big sink.
I like the center divider. But I hear you otherwise. I like the look of farmhouse. I don't have a farmhouse sink. I like the look of it. I think it looks cool. I didn't know that it might have drainage problems, but I do like having a little divider.
Yeah, I've never had drainage problem. By the way, it does not cost it. You do not have to use gallons of water to clean it. Like this person also doesn't know how to clean. Like what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You just spray the Clorox spray, scrub, rinse, you're done with it. That's not gallons of water. Okay, let's move on. Right, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. All right, let's move on to the next one. So gray flooring. Apparently another foible of mine, John.
Oh, did you install gray flooring?
Yeah, it's like pergo or laminate gray flooring, but it's like whitewashed gray. It's nice, I think it's nice. But Queen Bess 718 says gray flooring, it's already very dated and frankly tacky and cheap looking. I think you're cheap looking, Queen Bess 718. Okay.
And tacky and outdated, honestly. So look, here's the thing. There is gray flooring that looks cheap because a lot of house flippers that don't really care about the quality of the materials and just want to flip it as cheap as possible use gray flooring. I was house shopping. Lots of houses have cheap gray flooring. But there's nothing inherent about green flooring that means it has to be cheap. There's all sorts of flooring, like of every color, that can look good or bad. And I don't mind it at all. I think, millennials like neutral color palettes for houses. So I guess, it's just sort of made for me. But, whether it's like gray, kind of like wood or faux wood LVP, or some people do concrete, which is a gray flooring as well. I think it looks cool. It lets you bring in color in other areas rather than to a particular sort of flooring color.
Get it.
I'm not saying I would choose it necessarily, but I don't mind it at all.
Agreed. I mean, look, obviously I did choose it. And part of the reason why I chose it is because you bring out pops of color through your furniture, but you want everything else, like the walls, the floors, to be more muted so you can have fun with the furniture and the decor.
Yeah. Did you install your flooring?
Are you kidding me? No.
Okay,
No, that's the one thing I didn't do because
it's the sink. I don't know.
The flooring was super heavy. Like I did hire someone to do that. But
funny thing is,
yeah.
So I installed the flooring in the shed that I'm in, and I also just transported 14 boxes of flooring earlier today. Actually, it is heavy. Look, I can attest to that.
It's super heavy, and like the thing to know about my marriage is Christian is not. He does not like doing stuff around the house. Like he's not a handy person. Really? And he has masculine traits in other areas, but not in like home improvement stuff. I remember I asked him to install a light fixture, and he was like, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, just watch some YouTube videos, you'll figure it out. And he did. And I was watching him install it and it was so hot. Like it's the hottest thing that he's ever done. I was like, oh my God, please install that light fixture. And then one time he even replaced our toilet. He installed a toilet and that was also very, very hot.
Have
like
you
I
been
love
have you been
handiness.
committing sabotage around your house to create things that need to be fixed?
I probably should.
The pipes broke again.
Well, actually, there was one thing I did during COVID that was, it was probably a symptom of losing my mind because of COVID and everything that was happening in the world. But I just got like weirdly curious about like what's behind the drywall, like what's in my walls. Cause my cousin had told me that she was
Aztec
remodeling
gold.
No, that's not what I was thinking. I was actually thinking my cousin had purchased a home from her in-laws, and it was a very, very old home in the woods in New York, and it was in bad shape. So they had to remodel it, and they stripped it down to the bones. And she said that in the walls were like a ton of rat skeletons. And so once she said that, I was like, oh my God, what if there are rat skeletons in my walls? I gotta see. So I started like basically cutting holes in my drywall in various parts of the place. And then I asked Christian to fix it, and he did. So I give him a lot of credit.
If you suspect that there might be rat skeletons in the walls, here's an idea. Don't cut holes in it, and you never need to know.
No, I need to know.
If you cut holes, then you'll find out.
John, you don't know me. I'm a freak, like about cleanliness and stuff. Like really, I have a problem. So I couldn't stop thinking about. I had to know.
Were there rat skeletons?
No.
Okay, good.
A lot of weird electrical wiring situations happening though, so that scares me. But that's really expensive to fix, so I left it alone. Anyway, moving on. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. There were a few electrical issues, so we did get that fixed. But what really sucks is that the plug to where our microwave is, because we have like cabinets set up so you can put the microwave in the cabinet. Okay. We basically had to disconnect that because the way that was wired was unsafe. So we made sure to fix the unsafe stuff, but to like really fix it so that plug can be used, literally we'd have to spend like $3,000 because you'd have to do complete rewiring. And then on top of that, like the electrical workers don't fix the drywall. So then you have to hire people to fix the drywall throughout the entire place. And I don't have money for that. Okay, so moving on. Open shelving, finally, something I kind of agree with. So one person says, open shelving in the kitchen, it looks great in photos, I agree with that. But unless all your dishes and cups match each other and you're willing to put them on display all the time, it's impractical for day-to-day use. I feel like if you have open shelving in the kitchen, your stuff could get covered in dust. That's what I'm concerned about. If you don't use certain things, all the time. And if like me, you have a cat and open shelf, the open shelf would be way too tempting for the cat to avoid. So I agree with all of that. I think some amount of open shelving is cool, but I like cabinets more. So what do you think, John?
Yeah, I think there are some things that like, a lot of people learn about these sorts of things from watching shows like Fixer Upper, I watched like Help I Wrecked My House and stuff like that. And they do these amazing renovations, and then the people walk in and it looks all great, and it's not immediately clear that those places are not set up the way people live. Like there's no TV in any of these living rooms. Did you ever notice that? But also like the kitchens are not lived in. Like they brought in some of their fancy pottery to put 3 bowls. And like that's it, but that's not, you need to fit all your stuff. It's too much stuff. So I think it looks kind of cool when it's like very carefully constructed, but cabinets are just, they're there for a reason. I like cabinets.
I agree, I love cabinets too. But like I do have some shelving in my kitchen and then like a little bar area and some open shelving that you're using, not specifically for storage, but for decorative reasons, that's cool, right? But I think the trick is to make your space as usable as possible, right? As human friendly and easy to use as possible. So this next one, John, was a good warning because it's something that I've always dreamed of having. I don't have the space for it. I don't think I'll ever have the space for it, but I've always like dreamed about this because I've seen it in interior design magazines. I've seen it on Pinterest and it looks really cool, but apparently it's a really bad idea. They're called shower rooms where the tub is inside the shower glass. I love tubs. I love freestanding tubs. I love the idea of having a shower, like a walk-in shower that's large enough to be a shower and have a tub within it. But apparently there are some serious issues with this, having to do with cleanliness. All the scum you see on your shower walls will be all over your tub. So you not only have to clean the shower walls, but the whole tub every time you clean your shower, even if you never took a bath. And what about the mold growing behind the freestanding tub that sits 2 or 3 inches away from the wall? Dumbest idea ever. That's a really good point, John.
Just don't.
Mold and mildew is a thing.
Bathrooms are supposed to be dirty. Just don't clean them, and you'll save yourself a lot of trouble.
You're such a guy. Kidding. You're like total guy.
I'm kidding, except kind of. It's not really worth it. Yeah. I don't like tubs. I think tubs are stupid. Like now, look, I bathe my daughter in a tub, so it's somewhat useful for that, and our dogs. But like, humans don't need tubs. It's just a shower.
You're wrong.
All you need. That's why I like.
Oh my gosh.
Like I just dream of having a big open shower area. That's why I like traveling and staying in hotels. Like I don't want to take all of that amazing space and then take half of it and just be like a stupid tub you'll use once a year or whatever.
No. Look, I totally get that it's wasteful to take a bath. I also know that we live in a city that has been raining endlessly for 2 years now. So I deserve the bath. If I had a bathtub like that, I would take the bath.
In a year, how many baths would you take?
I almost don't want to say because I feel like the audience would turn on me for being wasteful, but I love baths so much. I would probably take a bath a day. Like I'm not even exagerating. Every day after work, I would take a bath. Me. Oh my God. Just laying in that bubbly, fragrant water. Okay, nice hot water. Oh, so relaxing.
Water.
Yeah. I'm not a dirty girl unless my husband wants me to be.
My God. Has he changed a light bulb or anything? And also, it's like I once in I think grad school, I was like, I'm gonna do the thing they do in movies where you're like in a tub and you have like a glass of wine, and then like how are you supposed to lay in it? It's the least comfortable thing in the world. Maybe
for you, I don't know. I have no problem with it. It depends on the
padded tub. Then I'll be okay with it. Okay.
All right.
Give me a hot tub.
I want to put you in a padded room right now if you're not in favor of these bathtubs. All right, let's move on. Open floor plans. So I felt like I was the only one who was kind of like, with open floor plans, but I'm curious what you think, John. Open floor plan is where like the kitchen and the living room is all in one space.
Room. Yeah. So I think it's 100% open floor plan, as open as possible. No walls in the house is what I say. Not even exterior walls. Just live in the woods. But no, I don't have an open floor plan or whatever. But it's just so much better. Like someone could be cooking, but they're still sort of able to interact with like their spouses, like sit at the couch or whatever. Or like I'm not saying it's perfect. Some people want to have a little bit of separation of sound and things like that. But the thing about like, I know that you have a quote about like smells, just whatever. Sometimes things smell. There's so many benefits. It looks so much better. It's brighter. I love the concept. I unfortunately don't have one and can't.
Yeah, I also don't have an open floor plan. I love that I don't. And I'm not really worried about the smell of what I'm cooking entering, the living room. It's going to anyway. Like the idea that, you're gonna be able to separate the scent from what you're cooking, wafting into the rest of the house. It's ridiculous. Unless you live in like a ridiculous mansion, you have the ability to kind of compartmentalize that extremely. But what I like is, sometimes I do want to be alone in a room. And one of my favorite things to do is cook. I like cooking and it's meditative for me. And it takes me into like a different world. And so I like that separation. I enjoy it. But again, that's totally subjective. It really depends on what you prefer. And I don't think it's gonna hurt the resale value of your home if you have an open floor plan. A lot of people actually really like it.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we're running out of time, John. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about at least one design that you absolutely hate.
Design thing that I hate. I watched a video recently of some of the like interior decor that's going viral on TikTok, and I hated a lot of that. The like bubble mirrors. Have you
What are
seen that?
those?
You take like a
No.
big mirror or
Mhm.
whatever, and instead of it being in a frame, you just use like expandable foam that you spray around the exterior of it as if it was a frame. I don't think that looks very good. I mean, it's DIY. I love when people do DIY. I don't think it looks very good. In terms of, I mean, half walls, pony walls, I think look really stupid. They're kind of outdated. I don't know. One of my favorite designers, Jasmine Roth, she loves to like have people's front yard be more usable. She likes
Mhm.
putting like seating and stuff in the front yard. And I think that she might be insane because who's sitting in their front yard? That seems weird to me. It's so
Yeah.
exposed and people can just steal those chairs. So I don't think the front yards should be usable unless you have a very particular living circumstance. But I don't know. What one stands out to you? I'll try to think of others.
You know, I'm I don't like barn doors. I think they could work if you live in a home that's been
Shots
styled as a
fired.
farmhouse overall. I know, I'm sorry. I just it's
I
just
made my
they
own barn door.
I know you did, and I think that's super impressive, and I think it works for your space. I just find them a little impractical, to be honest.
I will say that for our space, it is such a space savings and it's
Yeah,
also silent. So with the nursery on one side and our bedroom on the other, I go in and out a lot and it's silent because it just like, go like I really like it. It doesn't block as much sound and stuff.
that's
So that's
true.
the downside. But
Yeah, you're
um
right about it saving space, and I remember our little guest bathroom, it's a little bit cumbersome because the door swings inward and it hits the shower. And so when we were having new doors installed, they're like, oh, maybe we can do a pocket door. But then there's electrical stuff happening. They couldn't do the pocket door. And then they asked if maybe I'd be open to a barn door. And I was like, no, I want to keep the cumbersome door swinging into the bathroom instead. And it
especially
was,
for a bathroom.
yeah,
I don't
and
think a barn door is a good idea.
it didn't fit. It was like it would be so weird to put a barn door considering how the rest of the house is. It's not a house; the condo is designed. So anyway, but look, to me, the most important thing is to drown out any criticism or the like naysayers, because you should enjoy your space and you should do what you want to do with your space. And look, a lot of people can't afford homes or a property at all, and that's freaking devastating because it was the main way that people built wealth in this country. But even if you're renting, there are ways to do design or decoration that doesn't like damage the walls and you wouldn't be fined for it by your landlord. Look into peel and stick wallpaper. It's one of my favorite things. That's what you see
Mhm.
behind me right now. That's peel and stick wallpaper. It's a Gucci knockoff, but it's freaking beautiful and I love it. And it's great. It's easy to install if you ask me. And it really can brighten up your space, but make it your own. Who cares what anyone else thinks? Be bold enough to do what you want.